Hi, I'm Florida Joe 3, and today I'm going to build a one-man platform ladder stand from GAMEWINNER. Here's what it looks like in the box. And so to get right into it, the very first thing I did was open the instruction manual. Hope I don't lose man points for that. And there's a parts list. I went through the parts list and made sure that everything showed up. It's very disappointing to be in the middle of building something and find a part missing. And sure enough, there it is. Parts 1 through 21, I believe it is. So all the parts are here. I went through the hardware list also. You can see it on the next page here. And made sure all the hardware has showed up. And there it is, 1 through 21. And the bags are labeled by step number, so that's very nice how they packaged it. You can just grab bag 1 and do step 1 of the instructions. So let's get right into it. Here's an overview of what a tree stand looks like when it's done. Most of you probably know that. And here's step 1, so let's get right into it. Locate tree brace number 1, bending bar number 2, and right bending bar number 3. Install tree brace onto the left bending bar 2 and right bending bar 3 using 4 M860 bolts, 8 steel washers, and 4 lock nuts as shown in figure 1. Securely tighten the bolts. Okay, first chance for a mistake is to install this upside down instead of right side up. If you look really closely at the pictures and instructions, you can see that these little U-bolts that are welded on here are sticking up, and so that needs to be sticking up straight. And then our bars have these little tabs on them. We want to make sure that those are on the right side, so they go to the inside. So the bar curves down, and this is the right one, I believe. You want to line up these holes here. You got holes on here and holes on the bar. Make sure this tab is on the inside, okay? And then same with the left bar. Make sure the tab's on the inside. Okay, and we have our step 1 bag of bolts. And they show a bolt going through the top and down. So leave one washer on, take one washer off, poke it through. This is on top of the bending bar, okay? So poke it through the tree bracket or whatever the thing's called, and through the bending bar like that. And then you've got a washer on the back side. And this is a lock nut. Make sure the little rounded part is away from the stand, okay? And the flat part goes towards the washer. Just get it started. You won't be able to tighten it all the way with your fingers because there's a Teflon insert in these lock nuts, okay? So same thing with all the other bolts. Okay, the last sentence of instruction step number 1 is to tighten these bolts. So they give you 2 wrenches that you can use, and I believe they're metric. So you just grab the bottom bolt with 1 wrench and then tighten the top bolt with the other wrench. This is kind of a slow and boring way to do this. So what I recommend is that you get your impact driver. So it's a 13mm bolt. Get your impact driver with a little socket head on there, and you're ready to go. So you still want to use 1 wrench to hold the bottom nut, and then just, and that tightens up pretty fast. Be careful not to over tighten it. You may crush these bars. So just as soon as it bottoms out. In general, with these impact drivers, if you don't want to over torque something, once it clicks, let off the trigger. Alright, we're finished with step 1. Step 2, locate 2 ladder connect bars. Install the ladder connect bar onto the left bending bar and the right bending bar using 2 M635 bolts, 4 steel washers and 2 lock nuts, as shown in figure 2, securely tighten bolts. Okay, so this is the next step. We're going to add these 2 bars here. And let me just note that this bar is part number 6. Okay, I put out the 4 parts in numerical order, and the next one would be 4, but you can see that's a straight bar, and in the instruction the picture shows these bent bars. Okay, so number 6, and they have numbers on them, so that's extremely helpful. You can make sure you have the right part. If you look at the picture in the instructions, the bar bends towards the inside of the assembly, so just install them like this, towards the inside like that. See, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And then the other one, same way, towards the inside. And then put your bolts in. So you go and grab step 2 bag. Here you go, step 2. And it shows the bolts being installed from the inside out. Again, this is a lock nut, so just get it started for now, and then you can tighten it later. Okay, that's step 2 completed. Step 3, locate standing platform. Okay, that's this guy. Yeah, these definitely aren't in numerical order. So it's number 8. Install the front of the standing platform number 8 onto the ladder, connect bars using 2 M8x70 bolts, 4 nylon washers, 2 thicker nylon washers, and 2 lock nuts, as shown in figure 3. Securely tighten bolts. Note, please place 1 thicker nylon washer between the standing platform and the ladder connect bar. Okay, so I'll show you how that's going to go. The thicker one is going to act as kind of a bushing. I assume this rotates. Okay, so the platform is going to go into the assembly like this, okay? It's going to go just like this, and let's see how the bolts stack up. So we get step number 3 bag right there. You're going to see these washers are orange in my case. They may be black, just depends on what mood the manufacturer was in. Okay, and take these apart. There's your thick washer. There's your 2 thin plastic washers. Okay, and we got to be careful with plastic washers because they're plastic. So put 1 plastic washer on your bolt. Come from the inside of the stand. Let's see which hole we're going in. We're going to go in this bottom hole here, okay? This hole, there's 2 holes here. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get it close. There's 2 holes there, and we're going to go in the bottom one right there, okay? But first, we're going to go into the stand. Also, make sure your stand is right side up. This diamond plate grate should be on the top. So you want these bars that are going across, they'll be on the bottom, and then this grate for your feet is going to be on top. We're going in the bottom hole here, I believe is what I said. So put it in there. Get it all the way through. Now the thing is, we want one of these thick plastic washers in between these 2. Now it's kind of tight, but as you'll see, you can spread it apart. So we'll put the plastic washer in, kind of spread it apart with our hands while we assemble it, okay? Get all the way through like that. Put a plastic washer on the outside, and then your lock nut. And again, we'll tighten these later. And then the same on the other side. This is a 10mm bolt and nut on this side, so the large part of the wrench. Step number 4, locate seat support frame. It's number 11. Install seat support frame with tree V-brace 11 on the standing platform 8 and tree brace 1 using 4 M855 bolts, 8 steel washers, and 4 lock nuts, as shown in figure 4. Securely tighten bolts, okay? So we're putting this piece right here on now. Step 4, and we need number 11. And again, you have to look for it, but there is a number on these. There's a number 11. That's what a tree brace looks like right there. All right, so the tree brace is going to go between the standing platform and this, keep forgetting the name of it, the top part of it. And so we need to get the hardware for step 4. Step 4, it's 4 fairly long bolts. Okay, I've already made a mistake. Okay, so if you couldn't tell from the picture in the beginning, and I couldn't tell, this part right here is supposed to be facing that way. The teeth are supposed to be facing the back, okay? So I got it backwards. Thankfully, the instructions are showing that now, so I can just quickly turn that around. Okay, so I'll just pick this whole thing up, turn it around this way. Maybe be able to drop those bolts right back where they came from. This is much easier to do it right the first time, by the way. Okay, after about a 5-minute search, I found this nut. It's good to see it again. Okay, so let's finish putting this on. Okay, so now we're on step 4, now that we've corrected step 1. And the teeth of this bar here are facing that way. These rings are up. Best I can tell by the picture. Okay, and the teeth of this bar are going to be facing the same way towards the tree. The tree's this way. These visuals right here, you have to look at them for a second to realize it's running this way and not that. In other words, it's not flipped around. So once you do stare at them a little bit, you can see the bolt goes through the tree grabber that we're fixing to put on, the V-brace, tree V-brace it's called. So the bolt goes through that and then into this other bar, and then you get a washer and the nut. So let's do that. Here's the step 4 hardware. Again, leave one washer on the bolt. Put it through here. Through here. There's only 2 holes there, so you can't mess up. And then on the bottom, we're going to put the bolts underneath here, through these holes and into these holes. And you can see it doesn't line up. All you got to do is just pull it into line. This is all pretty flexible. So we'll tighten these 2 bolts and then turn it over and do the others. Alright, and that is step 4 completed. Step 5, we're going to get footrest number 7. Locate footrest number 7, install footrest onto the 2 ladder connect bars. Number 6, using 2 M8x70 bolts, 4 nylon washers, and 2 thicker nylon washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 5. Securely tighten bolts. Again, note that you're going to place the thick nylon washers between the footrest and the ladder connect bar. Alright, and here's a picture of where it's going. And again, you have to make sure you're seeing it the right way, okay? The footrest is hanging out this way. So I'm going to orient the stand so that it's facing the same way. Again, the footrest has a number 7 on it, so you can be sure you got the right thing. And the footrest is going to go in these 2 holes that we left empty before. We put this in the bottom hole. The footrest is going to go in the top hole. And it's going to go so that these little legs on the footrest are going to rest on this bar here, so that it only goes down like to there when it's bolted in. Alright, let's get step 5 packet. Here it is. It's got these orange things again, the nylon washers. The bolts come from the inside, so we're going to put the footrest here like this with the little feet sticking down. Go into the hole on the footrest. Grab a thick washer, put on there. And go into the hole on the stand. Like that. And then put a thin washer. And then your lock nut. Same on the other side. So if this won't go in the hole very easily for you, go ahead and tilt this up so that it's not pushing against this. It tends to push it away from the hole. Go ahead and tilt this up, and then you can jiggle it around all you want so that the bolt goes through the hole. And then put your nut on there and your washer, and then tighten them down securely. Alright, and that's step 5 done. Step number 6, locate number 4 ladder section, number 13, and 2 U-brackets, number 19. Slip the crimped end of number 4 ladder section 13 into the ladder connect bars 6 and secure with 2 U-brackets, number 19, using 4 M6040 bolts, 8 steel washers, and 4 lock nuts as shown in figure 7. Securely tighten bolts. Warning! U-brackets are required and must be used to provide support for the attachment points between the ladder sections. Bolts must be threaded through them on both sides of the ladder section. Do not omit U-brackets. Failure to properly use the U-brackets could lead to serious injury or death. Okay, so these are strengthening the joint. You're gonna slip the 2 legs together, and then this bracket, it's called a U-bracket, but it's like a C-channel, and you just put it around there and bolt it, and that's gonna strengthen it. Okay, the instructions make a little more sense now that I've grabbed the ladder section. It has some writing on it right here. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah. So section number 4. So when it says grab number 4 section, it's talking about this one. They're each numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 apparently goes on first. This side faces the tree. Okay, so it's going to face back the way we have it oriented. It's going to face away from the camera, and it just goes in here. And if these bars don't exactly line up, again, this whole thing's flexible. Flex it. Also, you might need to rock it up and down or back and forth to get it to go in there. It might take a little bit of persuasion to get the bolt holes to line up, but there it is. And you can look through the bolt hole and see how close you are to line up. Go ahead and get one side bolted, and then you can come back and adjust the other side as needed. Okay, there's only one way these brackets can go, actually, so that's nice. They have to go from here. They can't go on here because there's a step in the way, see? So you hit that, certainly can't go on this side. So they come from the outside and go to the inside. Get it started on one end. Probably this end's skinnier than this end, so go ahead and get started and then just snap it in place like that. And then get your packet, step number 6, packet of bolts. We got 8 bolts in here, and they're the smaller ones. So that's a 10 millimeter. And it looks like the bolts go from front to back. So you'll stick the bolt in the front, again with a washer on it, and then the nut on the back with a washer. And 10 millimeters is the small end of the wrench. With a 10 millimeter socket. Okay, step number 7. We're going to put the braces on. That's these guys right here. So locate 2 ladder braces, number 9. Install end of ladder braces, number 9, onto the number 4 ladder section, 13, using 2 M860 bolts, 4 steel washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 7. Okay, so we're going to attach them to the ladder first in this step. Alright, the ladder braces look like a straight bar mostly, except they're slightly bent at the end. And so, as far as I can tell, they're exactly the same. It's not like a left and a right, just the way you turn them. So we're going to need to turn them because they're going from this narrow ladder up to this wide platform. We need to turn them so that the bend is going to allow it to bend out to pick up the wide part. So we're going to attach it to the ladder like this. I don't know if you can even see that bend. It's bent this way. Okay, just to exaggerate, see the bend there. And this side is going to go against the ladder on one side, and then on the other side, same thing but the opposite direction. So we got our step 7 bolts here. And it looks like in this case the bolts go from the inside out. So you put it in this hole, so you got like the second step down, and then there's a hole inside. Goes in like that. Remember, this bend is going this way. I'm exaggerating, of course. The bar on there, another washer, and a nut. Same thing on the other side. And that completes step number 7. Step number 8 is to do basically the same thing, but at the platform level. And here we are, this platform. Install another end of ladder braces number 9 onto standing platform number 8 using 2 M855 bolts, 4 steel washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 8. Securely tighten the bolts on both ends of the ladder. Alright, step number 9. Locate seat and backrest frame number 10. Install the seat and backrest frame number 10 onto left bending bar number 2 and right bending bar number 3 using 2 M865 bolts, 4 steel washers, 2 thicker nylon washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 9. Securely tighten bolts, noting seat is designed to rotate up and down. Okay, since it rotates, here's the note. Please place the nylon washer between the seat and backrest frame and the bending bar. Okay, so anytime you have one of these thick washers, you want to be putting it between a couple of bars, sort of like right here. Okay, now we're on instruction step 9, and this is the part where you're going to say to yourself, man, I'm glad there's a video and I don't have to read these instructions. Okay, so here's your seat right here, and it's just a floppy kind of a mess, but what you want to find is this guy is really curved, this guy is not so curved. Okay, so the not so curved part is the back of the seat, and it looks like this from the side. Okay, you also have this little knob sticking out. This is what's going to rest on this bar when the seat is down. I think you're able to pull the seat up. When it's down, this little bar will be resting right there. Okay, so let's put one side on. We want to use this bolt hole right here for the back of the seat, right here, front bolt hole. And this time we just have the one plastic washer on there, and then the other 2 are steel. So everything off but one steel washer, and we're going to put the seat on the inside, and we're going to use this bolt hole here, this front one of the 2. Put it in there, put your plastic washer, your thick plastic washer, and then the back of the seat like that. Okay, and then we'll get our nut started. And then do the same on the other side. That completes step number 9. Step 10, we're going to install the backrest in a similar way. Install the seat and backrest frame number 10 onto the bending bar tab using 2 M845 bolts, 4 steel washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 10. Securely tighten bolts. These are our step 10 bolts. Notice there's no orange washers. We just put these straight on there. So it mentions the tab in there. Put it onto the tab. So this is the tab that it's talking about. We're going to put the bolt in from the outside like that, and then just a nut and a washer on the inside. Nothing fancy here. And same on the other side. Well, just a note, make sure you're going in the top hole on the seat. This bottom hole lines up with this hole. I have a feeling we'll be putting the bolt in that later. And step 10 is complete. Step 11, locate the 2 seat spreader tools, install 2 seat spreader tools onto seat and backrest frame using 8 M630 bolts, 16 steel washers, and 8 lock nuts as shown in figure 11. Securely tightened bolts. So these are the seat spreaders. You can see how they work. Apparently they're adjustable. So I've turned this on its side so you can see what's going on. Okay, there's 2 holes in the top of the seat that go to the seat spreader. And I don't think it matters whether you put it in this way or that way. I'm going to try to do it like the picture shows. So the picture shows it going in this way. And you can just let it bend so it'll fit, and then you can just snap it down later. But for now, let's go ahead and get the bolts started. The bolts are going through the seat rail and then into the seat spreader. You have to jiggle things to get the bolt through. Same thing on the other side. And we're going to do the same thing on the base of the seat. And that completes step 11. Step 12, close 2 spreader tools and secure with 2 M635 bolts, 4 steel washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 12. Securely tightened bolts. Okay, so we're just going to pinch these closed. So the picture shows using this furthest hole out. So if you pinch this closed like that, and be careful not to pinch yourself, obviously. Bring your bolt all the way through, and then that'll hold it open. And same on the bottom of the seat. That was the back. Here's the seat bottom. Pinch it closed all the way. And if you don't have enough hands to do this, you can get a clamp. Okay, that completes step 12. Okay, step 13. Locate 2 shooting rail support bars. Install the shooting rail support bars onto left bending bar and right bending bar using 2 M8 115 bolts, 4 steel washers, 2 thick nylon washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 13. Securely tightened bolts noting shooting rail is designed to rotate up and down. Okay, so again, it's just telling you make sure you put the thick washer in between the bars. Okay, these are what the shooting rail support bars look like. And the number 4, you can find the 4 on one of them. They have 3 holes in them, and the instructions show using this very back hole, so we'll just do that. I imagine you can adjust it for the size of the hunter. And the bolt has a very thick washer on it. That's the thickest one we'll see. So take everything off the bolt except one washer. Go ahead and put that through the bar like that, and then put your thick washer on next. And then put it in this hole here. This is the only hole we have left. It's going to go through the bend arm, and it's also going to go through the base of the seat. So you may have to jiggle it around. Let's see. You got to move the seat like this. There you go. So if you just jiggle the seat like that, that'll line up the holes and you get it through. And then just a washer and a nut on the inside. And we'll do the same on the other side. Alright, that completes step number 13. Step 14, locate shooting rail number 5. Install the shooting rail number 5 onto the shooting rail support bars number 4 using 2 M630 bolts, 4 steel washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 14. Securely tightened bolts. You want to notice that this shooting bar has this curve in it. So that actually curves up towards the sky. So on your support bar, just put it on this way, And I imagine I should have put them both on at the same time. Yeah. It's easier if you get them both started and then kind of work them both down. And wiggle it back and forth and side to side if you need to. And a little pounding always helps. Okay, and we got our two little 10 millimeter bolts. It'll go in there. The bolt goes in from the top like that. Okay, so I pounded it down a little too far, so I'm going to bump it back up, and there it goes. And same on the other side. That completes step number 14. Step 15, locate left armrest and right armrest, 20 and 21. Install two armrests to the backrest using two M885 bolts, 4 steel washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 15, securely tightened bolts. So we're going to install it in this hole right here. So we have fairly long bolts for this step 15, and that's because these guys have this little tube that we're going to go through. Yeah, we're installing the top of the armrest right now, and the tube is going to face the seat. So just like this one would be the right armrest, just like this. And as we might expect, the bolt comes in from the outside, so it goes through the arm, through the tube like that, and then through the back of the seat like that. Okay, and this part is going to be inside, okay? Same on the other side. That completes step 15. Step 16 is a lot like it. Install the two armrests to the bending bars using two M860 bolts, 4 steel washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 16. It's going to be just the same way. So we'll be doing the bottom of it. It'll be this last hole here, and it's going to go to this back hole here. Again, we're going to go through the outside of the armrest. Okay, and you're going to need to grab the back of the seat and just push it forward enough so that this will go in the hole. There we go. If you find that something just absolutely doesn't go where it ought to go, it's possible that you may have missed a step or done a step wrong. So if that happens, go back and check your work, make sure everything's exactly in the right holes in the right place. And that completes step 16. Step 17, locate two M865 hand wheels, bolting them on left armrest 20 and right armrest 21, as shown in figure 17. These two M865 hand wheels are used for shooting rail support. Securely tightened hand wheels. Note, shooting rail height can be adjusted by bolting hand wheels on 3 different holes on the armrest bars. Always make sure both hand wheels are at same level so shooting rail contacts both hand wheels evenly. So this is what the hand wheel looks like. They can thread into any of these 3 holes. I'm just going to set it up like the instructions say to. Okay, in the instructions they put it in the top hole. Like I said, you can put it in whichever one you want. It doesn't seem like it's doing anything because you're just screwing in a hole, but what it does is it holds this shooting rail up at whatever level you want. So you can move it down a couple of notches if you need to. I'm going to put it at the top. And same on the other side. And that's step 17 complete. Step 18, locate number 3 ladder sections, number 14. Slip the male end of the 3 ladder section, 14, and the female end of 4 ladder section, 13. Then secure 3 ladder sections with 2 U-brackets, number 19, using 4 M6040 bolts, 8 steel washers, and 4 lock nuts as shown in figure 18. Same warning as before, make sure you install these U-brackets, otherwise it won't be strong enough to hold your weight, possibly. Repeat this step for the remaining 2 ladder sections, 2 and 1. Alright, so we're just going to make a run for it. And that completes step number 18. Step number 19, locate adjustable tree brace. Install the adjustable tree brace mount 18 onto number 2 ladder section using 2 M60 60 volts, M6 60 bolts, 6 nylon washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 19. Securely tighten bolts. Notice, please place the nylon washer between the adjustable tree brace mount and the ladder section, as usual. This time we have the bolts coming from the inside and going out. So this time our bolts don't have a thick washer, but they have a third thin washer. There's only 2 holes in the whole ladder, so I think you can't miss them. They're right here on section 2. And just come from the outside, get 1 washer in between the ladder and the tree support bar. Now this bar needs to be facing the tree, I believe, so, well, I'm sure of it. So it needs to be underneath, basically, going back. And then 1 more orange washer and the nut. We'll do the same on the other side. Alright, that completes step number 19. Step number 20, we're going to put the bar that goes on the tree brace mount with a wing nut and a bolt right through the middle. Locate adjustable tree brace 17. Slip the adjustable tree brace 17 into the adjustable tree brace mount and secure them using 1 M6 45 bolt, 2 nylon washers, and 1 wing nut as shown in figure 20. Securely tighten the bolt. Okay, this bar is pretty long. You see all these holes in it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this second hole like it shows in the instructions. And then of course you can extend it as needed. Okay, so this extender just slides up in the tree brace bar. I'm going to slide it all the way up in there, almost, and leave 1 hole exposed. Put the bolt in the top of it with the 1 orange washer, and then that's a wing nut going on the bottom there. Alright, and that completes step number 20. Okay, and there's a warning there. Adjustable tree brace and bolt with wing nut must be installed. Do not omit these components. Failure to properly use these could cause injury or death. Just like everything. Okay, step number 21. Locate plastic shelf number 22. Install the plastic shelf 22 onto the bending bar, either right or left side, using 2 M8 45 bolts, 4 steel washers, and 2 lock nuts as shown in figure 21. Securely tighten bolts. Okay, so here's the little plastic shelf. It has a cup holder, has like a little foam pad. I assume you put your iPhone on that. And you can install it on either side. Since my customer is right-handed, I'm going to put it on the right side. And the bolts go out from the chair into the shelf. So you just go out that way, put the shelf on, and make sure it's facing the right way, right? So the cup holder is down. There's plastic bracing in here that makes it a little bit crowded, so just, work with it. There's room to get the wrench in there and get your fingers in there. So. That completes step number 21, and that's it for the actual assembly. There's some other parts. There's ratcheting straps and stuff, and there's installation instructions for how to install it to the tree. I'll leave that to you, but that's how you put one together. Thanks for watching.